Before any sword was lifted, a woman sat beneath a palm tree and spoke with the weight of heaven in her voice. Her name was Deborah. People came to her for wisdom because the land was heavy with fear. For 20 years, a Canaanite commander named Sisera terrorized the region with 900 iron chariots, machines that sounded like thunder and crushed resistance. Villagers hid. Trade routes went silent. People cried out to God, and God answered through Deborah. This is the story of 3 lives drawn together at the right moment: Deborah the judge and prophet, Barak the soldier who hesitated yet obeyed, and Jael the quiet outsider who closed the chapter. It's about courage that doesn't always feel like courage, leadership that invites rather than shouts, and victory that arrives through ordinary faithfulness. Deborah refused to let fear decide the future. She judged disputes under the palm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel, a place people knew and trusted. One day she sent for a commander named Barak from Naphtali. She didn't flatter him or threaten him. She delivered a clear instruction: take 10,000 men from Naphtali and Zebulun. Go to Mount Tabor. God will draw Sisera to the Kishon River and deliver him into your hand. It was a plan with a map: 2 tribes, 1 mountain, 1 river, 1 promise. Barak listened, and inside him 2 tides collided: faith and fear. He knew what iron chariots did to infantry. He answered, "If you go with me, I'll go. If you don't, I won't." Some call that weak. Deborah didn't waste time labeling it. She agreed to go and added a hard truth: the honor of the final victory would not be his, because the Lord would deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. This story would not be about one man's glory. It would be about obedience, partnership, and an unexpected finish. Barak sent out the call. 10,000 volunteers gathered and climbed Mount Tabor, a natural stronghold that rises like a dome over the plain. Not everyone came. Some tribes stayed by their ships or lingered among their flocks. The song that would later remember this day quietly praised those who stepped forward and recorded those who folded their arms. Crucial moments, communities always divide that way. On the Canaanite side, word reached Sisera that Israel had formed an army on Tabor. He did what he always did: rolled out the chariots and moved toward the open ground by the Kishon, where wheels crush and speed kills. He had numbers, noise, and momentum. Israel had a hill, a word from God, and a leader who brought her presence to the front lines. Deborah watched the moment arrive and turned to Barak. "Up! This is the day the Lord has given Sisera into your hand." It wasn't a roar, it was calm authority. Barak charged down with his 10,000. Then something no general can schedule happened. Weather. The skies opened. Kishon swelled. The ground turned slick. The great advantage of iron chariots, weight and speed, became a trap. Wheels jammed. Horses stumbled. What once thundered now floundered. The field tilted and fear changed sides. Barak pressed the advantage. Sisera realized his chariots were liabilities, abandoned one, and ran on foot. He fled toward the tents of a clan at peace with his king, a family of metalworkers who lived apart from Israel. Among those tents was a woman named Jael. Jael saw a lone runner and stepped to her doorway. She recognized the uniform, the haste, the desperation. With desert hospitality, she called, "Turn aside to me." "Don't be afraid." He ducked inside, asked for water, and she gave him milk, rich and calming. He asked her to stand at the entrance and deny he was there. Then the commander who once terrorized highways closed his eyes in a stranger's tent because he had run out of strength. What happened next is shocking in any age. Jael took the tools of her daily life, a mallet and a tent peg, and while Sisera slept, ended the terror that had stolen years. When Barak arrived, Jael stepped out and said, "Come, and I will show you the man you seek." Inside, the threat was over. Inside, the tide of fear began to recede. The story closes with a song, a poem of praise and memory. Names leaders who took initiative and people who gladly offered themselves. Celebrates Deborah, a mother in Israel, and Jael, the unexpected finisher. It even imagines Sisera's mother at the window, wondering why his chariot is late, forcing us to remember that war touches families on both sides. After this, the land had rest for 40 years. Now, what does this teach? Let's count it plainly. Number 1. Courage often looks like calm clarity. Deborah's power wasn't noise or spectacle. It was the habit of showing up, listening, and speaking truth. If you lead at home, at work, or in your community, stand where wisdom can be found and refuse to let fear set your posture. Number 2. Faith uses the map. Deborah's word to Barak had details, people, a place, a strategy. Faith is not vague optimism. It is trust that walks a specific path. When a problem feels bigger than you are, ask for one clear next step and take it. Number 3. Borrow courage when you need to, but move. Barak asked for Deborah's presence and then acted. There will be days you need someone in the room, on the call, or beside you. Without shame. Then put one foot in front of the other. Hesitation is not your identity, obedience is. Number 4. Shared leadership multiplies impact. A judge, a general, and a homemaker each played an indispensable role. Deborah sparked the charge. Barak sustained the push. Jael ended the threat. Make room for gifts different from yours. Celebrate victories that arrive through hands not your own. Number 5. God often turns the enemy's strength into a weakness. Chariots ruled until the ground changed. The habit that shames you, the fear that freezes you, the opposition that seems untouchable, conditions can shift. Your task is to be faithful on your hill so you can move when the ground tilts. Number 6. Small tools and steady hands can end long fears. Jael used what she had. You may not hold a title or a budget, but you hold tools, skills, words, routines. Steward them well, because decisive moments often arrive in ordinary rooms. Number 7. Sing the story after you live it. Deborah and Barak didn't rush past the victory. They remembered. They named the brave, warned the passive, and praised the God who fought for them. Your gratitude and your memory become fuel for the next hard thing. There is one more thread, the place of women in this story. Deborah leads without apology. Barak welcomes her leadership and is not smaller for it. Jael acts decisively within her sphere. Together they model a partnership that still challenges us. Authority rooted in calling, collaboration without insecurity, strength expressed through wisdom, presence, and timely action. Healthier communities are born when every God-given gift is welcomed to the front lines. So step back and see the arc. 20 years of fear set the stage. A woman who listened under a palm tree began the turn. A leader honest about his fear borrowed courage and moved. A storm reset the field. A quiet outsider finished the work. A song taught the land to remember so peace would last. Maybe you are Deborah today, sensing it's time to stop watching fear settle in and start calling people to the hill. Maybe you are Barak, heart pounding, needing a trusted voice beside you so you'll finally move. Maybe you are Jael, holding ordinary tools in ordinary hands, standing at the doorway of a decision no one else will see. Wherever you are, hear the steady voice that launched the charge. Up! This is the day. Not for noise or pride, but for obedience, shared strength, calm clarity, and the kind of courage that makes roads safe again. And when the wheels that chased you finally sink and the noise fades, don't forget to sing. Name the people who helped. Tell the story so someone else learns how to stand. Guard the peace you fought for. In the end, this is not a story about chariots or credit. It is about a people who learned at last to walk the roads again. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more spirit-filled videos.